Everything started in 2020 during the pandemic. I got chickens, eggs, and chicks. You can imagine that I had time to do lots of things, so I decided to learn how to feed myself and be self-sufficient. I also started my YouTube journey about that time. I ended up with rabbits, lots of rabbits. I learned how to tap maple trees with the resources I had at home. Kids helped out a bit, although I wished it would have been a little bit more involved. I did some crazy stuff, although I had lots of fun. And I sowed lots and lots of seeds. I watched them carefully grow, and I learned a lot from them. And then sowed even more seeds. I wanted to raise my own pigs, so I invested time and money. I even expanded my garden to have even more vegetables. I used cardboards that I got for free, and also used compost that I was able to find for very cheap. For a little while, things were actually going pretty well for someone that's never done the homesteading life. I think I did pretty good. I started foraging for food, and one of the first things I did was forage for fiddleheads. I've made some new friends that taught me lots of new stuff. It motivated me to do even more and push myself to grow even more food now. I felt like everything was possible, like sky was the limit. I had tons of projects in mind. I figured if I was going to retire earlier, this would have been the answer. This would allow me to retire before the age of 65, like everyone else in New Brunswick. This could actually make me retire around the age of 60, if not earlier. I started growing perennials like strawberries. I even built 2 more gardens in front of my little barn. I decided to try to grow my own meat chickens, starting from chicks. Even this was going pretty well. I invested in equipment that was meant to save some time, like a chicken plucker. I made a new friend, Serge. I didn't know it back then, but this new friendship was gonna be very, very important for my future. We spent some wonderful time as a family, which even allowed us to go get even more food and enjoy ourselves. And that's when everything went sideways. Someone from the village came over to tell me that I was not allowed to have my own animals. An agricultural village known for the agriculture, with farmers all around me telling me that I'm not allowed to raise my own animals, to grow my own food. All this because of a law that changed, or a bylaw that changed back in 2012. I felt like quitting and giving up. But that's not what happened. I decided to roll up my sleeves and find a solution to the problem. I put my house for sale and went over and visited a few houses to try to start a new life. While looking for a property that would allow us to follow our dream, we had to call all of our chickens, all of the animals that we had, even if they were probably too small to put in our freezer. Even though I had given up for about a month, I ended up having a wonderful harvest from my garden regardless. We had a wonderful apple harvest, and I even went to harvest a few wild apple trees because I know there's a lot of them around here and I know exactly where they are. We also had a wonderful tomato harvest and zucchinis. I was lucky enough to see my name get drawn for the moose hunting season, and funny enough, my mom did as well. So that year we had the opportunity to go after 2 moose instead of 1. I took this opportunity to explore the forest a little bit. Since it seemed to be a year of bad luck had to continue for me. We planned on separating in 2 teams, my brother and I, and my dad and my mom together, and they were lucky they got the moose on the first night. I was also lucky by getting my moose on the 4th day, which is the second last day of the hunt. And since we enjoy hunting, we decided to continue hunting for grouse. Grouse is a lot like chicken, so whatever you can do with chicken, you can do it with grouse as well. And since this is a family tradition, my dad, my brother, and I went deer hunting with a chance to bring home even more meat. But even then, I was the one with the bad luck, walking into a tick nest. This was still a wonderful family time, even though it didn't really end the way I wanted it. Winter arrived. With a well-deserved rest, I decided to turn a page and start moving forward. Kids started getting more and more involved by helping me sow some seeds. I joined a world collaboration where the goal was to harvest or grow as much food as possible. In fact, it was pretty much anything you could bring in as food other than what you can buy at the grocery store. 2022 was a huge turning point in my life. I met a bunch of great people that I now consider family. I brought my barn on Sarah's property. It ended up being a huge help, awesome plan B, and a continued move forward with growing even more food by expanding my garden. In that international competition, I ended up harvesting over 1,656 pounds of food, which allowed my team to win and also gave me the MVP for the competition. With 2023 approaching, I decided to do even more and try to beat my personal score. It was a year of hope, and I think I finally found my path. Regardless, I felt like a kid when I found this amazing nursery store. I ended up purchasing over 60 different fruit trees and fruit bushes. I decided to learn more about foraging and medicinal plants. In the end, I ended up beating my score from 2022 by harvesting over 2,600 pounds of food, which made me save over $10,000 worth of food. I even started doing my own wine. Can't wait to see what 2024 has in store for me. See you next time.